If you want to get a feel for how a sim racing coaching session really goes, I would recommend you this video. This video is one of the guys of the pitskill.io platform, Sergi Sebastian, helped me out in the coaching session and he explained a lot of faults in my driving. Now, if you really want to get like a feel for how this goes, I would really recommend it from the beginning till the end, because there's a lot of hidden gems in here, and maybe that can help you out as well. Just know that I'm like 1.5, like 2 seconds of the absolute fastest people, and before I thought this was my limit and it was totally like okay, I was happy with the pace and that's all. Now I'm doing driving a little bit better after 3-4 weeks after this coaching session, but I can see now in my driving where all the mistakes are, so I have a whole new area unlocked on how I need to improve on the lap time. And in this coaching session I think you can really see and feel where these mistakes are. Let's get into it. But I did like 12 podiums in 18 races or something.
Yeah, nice. And hopefully you're gonna be even faster.
I'm curious what you come up with. I know kind of the problem, but there's sometimes the execution.
And then there's several stuff we can do, right? Sadly, 1 hour is usually not quite enough to cover everything super properly, but I will try to go as quickly as I can, so at least you can take all the information.
Yeah.
To start, do you want to send me your setup, or do you have a setup that you say, yeah, I'm fine with this, or are you still trying stuff?
Well, I'm a bit with, especially for the Watkins clan, I'm a little bit concerned with the wing setting, because you have this straight in sector 1, and I know for a fact that I can be quicker with a high wing setup, but I don't want to be overtaken in the race on that straight every time. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny because I was just testing that today.
Yeah.
And I am also quicker with 12 wing.
Yeah.
But I figured you can actually go not too much slower with wing 6.
Yeah.
And
you think 6?
Wings. I tried with 9. There was barely any difference in the straight. Yeah. So I think if you want to go low wing, you have to go like mid wing, like wing 6 or something like that. It might be a little bit placebo effect, okay? But I'm using it, and I know lots of pros also use it.
Yeah.
The maximum steering angle, I adjust per car. In the Lambo, it's 620 degrees. No, 620 exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And in game, you will put 0.
Okay.
All right. And the rest, I'm not entirely, like, I don't know the force feedback settings of these wheels, so hard to tell. But I can tell you the in-game that I like, which are pretty simple.
All right. Well, then, and something else?
Let's go quickly to the in-game. And
Sergi was also talking about the braking configuration. Obviously, I screwed up this recording with the braking and show you guys on the recording, but as I use the angle with the elastomers to get myself the proper braking, I made videos about this, and he said to me, okay, if it's that precise, give me 50%. So I was like hitting it and not really being able to give exactly the 50%. So he said to me that like you can get away with this if it feels nice, but he has also said like go for a spring on the load cell, because the elastomers give a little bit of a strange feeling when I'm coming off the brakes. So that's something in the hardware I can optimize as well.
All right, so steer lock you put 0.
Okay, interesting.
So and everything else should be fine.
Okay.
I think that's exactly how I have it. Just one thing, the gain. I want you, like, you're recording it, so that's perfect. When you're driving, you know you have the throttle bar, the brake bar, the HUD.
Yeah.
And below that, there's another bar that says FF.
Yes.
That FF is the force feedback.
It shouldn't click,
And
yeah?
exactly. And especially in this track, the force feedback is super strong. So
Yeah.
I actually reduce it per car. You can actually
Okay. Yeah, I
map.
can drop it like another 10% maybe.
Well, what you can do also is there's a button you can map to reduce or increase the gain while racing.
I've seen it here somewhere, yeah.
It's what I want you to do after the session is to check out the recording and see if it was clipping, or if it was more like, if it clips like super shortly, it goes red, it's not that big issue. But
No.
if it's noticeably long, I'm saying long, I'm talking about like maybe half a second or a few tenths.
full corner kind of input,
Not
and then
yeah. So a few tenths, let's say like that, it's red, that's bad. Because you're losing all the detail, okay?
All right,
And
mate.
we will need that after for fishing for grip. All right, go quickly to the video and then we go on track.
Yeah. So Sergey gave me some setup tips, what he's doing. Now he's relying on quite a lot of like tricks to get the most lap time out of the car, which is kind of meta, which is okay. But I did some mistakes, like I had the brake ducts too high. I wasn't really paying attention to this. I was just like, okay, 4 is good, but it should be 3. Dampers, he didn't say anything a lot. He said that I needed to drop the brake bias a lot more to get the most out of the braking. Overall, the setup, he couldn't really say anything about it. And what, like the brake ducts, like one is faster but harder to modulate in the temperature, so I really liked those ones. And what he also said, that max caster is just something you want to do, and he also avoids the toe, which I do as well. There's a whole part in this coaching about the setup. It's taking way too long, and I did not record these screens. So the coaching session I did basically with this, and we were also talking about how from 6 to 12 wing should help us on the straight, but then with the max wing you can go a little bit faster overall. It's a little bit of a payoff. What really comforted me is that he also didn't know what would be optimal for race setup, because I focus on race setup 9 out of 10 times. Let's get further with the coaching in-game.
0 in-game and 620 in your software, the wheel software.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah, it's. I think this is the problem. I see it now. Bro. Yes, we have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, there was something I have never seen otherwise.
you can see. Although I'm on YouTube and everything, I have a really hard time with this settings and all that stuff. To be honest. So I will just do the best I can, and then I was practicing more than I'm usually are, because I actually struggle a lot on this track, so... So I dropped a lot of time there, I'm fully aware. There's the understeer, yeah? That's setup issue right there.
That's yes, that's because
the ride height
you
probably.
Have barely exactly.
So
do this one more lap and we'll take a look.
This first corner is also super important. My record currently is with the high down for setup is a 43.9. It's actually on the pit scale hot lap server, like
not bad at all. 43 is already quite good.
Yeah, it's but that was like this magical lap, yeah, where everything went well. Yeah, we need to change the ride height, definitely. It's over here. I'm feeling the pain as well. And it's an invalidation. So the pressures are off. So, yeah.
I thought so, seeing them.
How long are you doing this, man?
ACC?
Yeah.
Need to think. 3 years?
3
Something.
years, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the setup this corner. And it will also be for this one
that
as well.
corner, yeah, it's very let's say aero dependent.
Yeah.
Right. But I already have some stuff. I want to go through the main one, let's say. Basically, the first one, very easy. You shift too late up. Like the Lambo, the optimal shift point is 8,000 RPM.
Okay.
Anything past that, you're losing power, really.
Okay.
So I know it's a V10 and you like it to rev it because it sounds good, but
No,
you just...
I don't care about that that sound. It's just if like you carry this with you through the whole lap. So if it's wrong, then yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So 8,000 RPM. I saw even pros shifting just a little bit before that.
All right.
7,950, something like that. But I think 8,000 is a good reference.
All right.
And then another thing that I noticed that you do a lot, but maybe I can if I share my screen on Discord, can you see it? Or like,
let's have a look.
some beer and stuff?
Yeah.
But only on the low part, not on the high part of the, like, not on the, the like.
Yeah, I understand. I'm like yeah. Okay.
It's difficult one. Like I often also hit it because like you want to be as close as possible and stuff. But
it's
like,
more painful to miss it than to go over it, right? Or
I'm not entirely sure. In the end, your goal is to accelerate as hard as possible.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. So I still haven't figured it out too much. But if you go over it, I think it's worse than missing it a little bit.
Okay.
Because over it, it's makes the car unstable, and at least in TC off for me, like you cannot put the power down properly. Right. Let me see this one. Yeah. All right. Here you do it. And let me put it lower speed and check your brake trace. Check your brake.
No, it's not good. It's pumping.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And also you're like kinda, I think you're unconsciously timing it with your downshifts. Like if you see it, if like you go so you brake here, you brake a lot, then release the brake, then downshift and brake again. So basically you're just giving away time by, like, you could, if you manage to slow the car down that way, it means you could have braked later.
Yeah.
Or probably just release the brakes earlier and take more corner speed in the end.
Okay.
This is something I saw you doing on several corners, actually. So it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Let's see. You see?
Yeah, man. Mind is blown. Hey. Mind is blown. Really.
So yeah, do you have ACC Drive or any overlay that you can see your like live Motec? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the braking trace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I can work
I like
on that.
it. I like it a lot because if you see any of my streams or so, you can see how I have it. Like I also show it on stream.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it like to show others so they can see, but I actually use it myself. Like after the corner in the straight, I look, okay, how was my braking? How was my throttle?
Oh, yeah.
Did it feel good or did it not feel good?
Yeah.
And what, you know, try different things, see how it looked in the trace, and think for yourself, was that what I was wanting to?
Yeah.
Because often you're not conscious. Like the most problem of the people not being able to go faster is that not being conscious of the mistakes.
Yep.
Like I just told you this. It doesn't mean that you will go on track and automatically stop doing it. But now you will be conscious, and over time you will improve.
Yeah. It's basically for every problem in life. If you're not conscious.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So then another thing, you tend to downshift in the middle of the corner, and it's obviously in some corners where you trail brake a lot into the corner, you have no other option. But in most corners, let's see the next one, for example. I want to check it out. Yeah, you see you're already turning and still like going into the like shifting down.
Yeah.
The ideal is to manage to shift down as fast as possible, obviously without blowing the engine or anything.
Yeah.
But also on that kind of like straight line. If you're already turning and braking and then downshifting, it changes the balance of the car a lot, and sometimes that makes you think you're on the limit because the car feels unsettled, but actually it's just because of your inputs.
All right.
When you downshift, imagine your brake bias, right? You have it 55%.
Yeah.
So if you brake without engine braking, it will be 55%.
Yeah.
But every time you downshift, you're adding braking power to the rear, which means that you're having like a dynamic brake balance.
Yeah.
And you're shifting it towards the rear every time you downshift. If you downshift later, like instead of being aggressive on the downshift, you downshift later, the braking power on the rear will be not so high. So it's not a massive different brake balance that you're forcing there.
Okay.
But it's take all your inputs into account.
Yeah.
When you're braking, your wheel input gets enhanced. I'm not sure if you noticed somehow, like if you have a little bit of steering and you're still braking, the car can rotate massively.
Yeah. I have this because like my favorite car, or not necessarily my favorite car, but the car I can be fastest in is the Aston Martin, and I can really bleed off on the brakes. But if it's if it's a lot about the downshifts, the Aston Martin has a long first gear, so I cannot do that wrong in these slow corners with the Aston, probably, because there's like the gears are gone, you know, it's already in one. Yeah. So maybe that's the reason why I get away with more pace in that car. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, if you touch the brakes, Kialami, the first corner of the second sector, it's really important to touch that brake a little bit to get the
rotation.
Yeah.
Basically, braking means transferring mass to the front. And if you're transferring mass to the front, you're giving more grip to the front tires, making it turn more. If you overdo it, it has its sweet spots, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was asking at the beginning, if you can consistently hit like 180, 10% on throttle and brakes, because these are stuff that you have to be aware of. It's like tools in your toolbox and you can use them. There's a lot of different tools that you can use, and maybe you're using some of them unconsciously, but one of them is like, why is trail braking so powerful? One, it allows you to brake later because you're still scrubbing speed into the corner. And two, it gives the car more rotation because it has all like you're trying to turn, but instead of understeering because you're turning too much, you're giving more weight to the fronts, and suddenly they have more grip.
Yeah.
So they can brake and still rotate more. It's a little bit. It seems counterintuitive, because if you think, oh, but if I'm turning, I cannot brake on top of them, because then there will be for sure won't have enough grip. But actually, braking just a little bit moves the weight forward in a way that overall you have more grip available and you can turn more.
Without even slowing down that much.
Exactly. But that's the point. Then what you do to compensate is you go into the corner faster.
Yeah.
And then it's double win.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
So that's something really powerful, and that's why trail braking is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I'm not sure how you do or how conscious or not, how do you grip your wheel? Are you conscious about it?
I do believe, and I've seen a lot of videos about this, I do believe I have it pretty relaxed in my hand.
Okay.
I'm not, I don't know, like my basically, when I'm shifting, only my thumbs are basically inside the wheel. And I'm like, I don't think, and I can like, I don't think I'm gripping it like what you may be implying, but maybe I do because I'm already seeing like multiple mistakes that I'm doing, so there's no guarantees.
It's not necessarily, but actually at Watkins Glen, this corner is quite good to be more aware, because it's a very long corner, lots of grip.
Yeah.
And you can do this fishing for grip. Fishing for grip means you turn and you search for the point or the angle of the wheel.
Yeah.
Where if you turn more, the force is lower.
Yeah.
So you look for the maximum force.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is and if you let your hands loose, you are able to find that point. If you're gripping it, it's impossible. You're not gonna find it.
No.
You have to let the car do the micro corrections.
Yeah.
Like let the micro corrections. If the wheel like flickers a little bit and stuff. Let's see, for example, this corner. It doesn't look like you're turning too much. I think it's obviously for me I have a different steering lock than you. This is something you could also check. Here you might be I don't know, because I noticed your steering ratio is 12, and I'm using the minimum. So I'm not sure if that's why it looks too much steering for me.
Okay. But I can do it. I can do it on. I can do it on the minimum. Then it will be the same.
Yes, but then you will feel super weird.
Yeah.
Like
I
would. I maximum do it one at a time until you get used to.
All right.
But yeah, let's try it. Try to do some more laps and like reload the setup. Maybe if you want have already some adjustments on the wheel.
I will.
Sorry, on the pressures. You can also do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you know they were super off, might as well.
No, it was overall a bit too high, I believe. Something like this. I'll get. I'm a little bit with the braking, but I'll just add 5 more millimeters of ride height.
Okay, then get the rear toe, increase it to. I would put it to 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Just something neutral.
Yeah, I actually have it neutral on almost every setup because it's broken, really. You know, the toe.
Yeah.
I did some tests the other day with max toe on the straight. You should be like 20 kilometers slower, with max toe, positive or negative, and the car should shift sideways if you have max. Like if you have 0.4 on the left and minus 0.4 on the right, it should go if you try to steer straight, it should move to the left. You know, the car. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
I think it's yeah. I'm not entirely sure how far off that is from reality, but
well, I did a calculation with ChatGPT and
oh.
saying that a GT3 wheel, if you put that much amount of toe on the wheel and you're on a straight and the car would move freely, how much meters would go sideways on a straight of like, let's say 4 kilometers? And it said it would move to the side for 29 meters.
Oh God.
So that's a lot, and you will lose the tires within 3 laps if you do that in real life.
Yeah. That with the tires, definitely.
Okay, so I did the set changes. I got rid of the toe, a little bit less bump stop range, and I got a little bit extra ride height. Let's see. 55% of the brake pads. I'll save this one.
There's in order to know also temperatures, brake ducts and stuff, you can use Motec or you can use ACC Drive or whatever.
Whenever I hear people say ACC Drive, this is already the 4th time, so maybe I should just buy it and then use it. So
I don't wanna I don't get paid for telling people to get it.
No,
I just find it useful myself.
You've seen my setup and the stuff that I have. It would be foolish not to try it out, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how good it is for VR, to be fair.
Yeah, no, well,
it has compatibility, but yeah. Now fish for grip.
Interesting. Interesting, mate. Yeah, I'm
more aggressive.
More
aggressive on the downshifts.
More aggressive or less aggressive?
More.
Okay.
Try it here. This one, for example, is good for being aggressive on the downshifts. Yes.
No.
Okay, so what happened here? This is a very classical, and I just want you to just take a moment. I would go back to pits because like this is you have damage and you might as well start again.
Yeah.
What happened there is the classic understeer to snap oversteer.
Yep.
Okay, and actually in that corner, I like to induce understeer because I have the feeling my car with my setting always oversteers in that corner and I lose it. So what do? I actually turn the wheel more than needed to induce briefly understeer, which is what you did, which was good. But what was the problem?
Too much
You
throttle.
didn't unwind. You didn't exactly. You went on too much throttle before unwinding the wheel. And then the problem is what you cause is like if you go with too much wheel, 50% of the throttle, you have understeer. Understeer. And then you say, well, more throttle, and I'm already almost done, more throttle. But then suddenly, with that steering angle and 100% throttle, you have snap immediately oversteer, and you lose it.
Yeah.
Right? So ideally, you only induce understeer consciously and not just briefly, like just to keep the balance of the car and then put the wheel, like fish again for the grip. In that moment, you should have, if you were conscious thinking about it, you would have noticed like your wheel goes light even before you lose it. So when you notice it going light, you know, oh shit, I'm about to lose it now. I'm understeering.
Yeah.
And then if I keep on the throttle, I'm gonna have the snap. So there you unwind the wheel, maybe lift a little bit to be sure to save it and correct it that way.
Yeah.
But take this things into account.
All right. Well, there's also this a little bit now. I have these the downshifts, the braking,
Yeah,
and these 3 pillars to consider. That's actually a lot, but
that's that's what
I'm really happy that we definitely recording this, because then I can also watch the deck, you know.
exactly.
So
Don't forget about shifting earlier.
yeah. I have the
Another one.
I have the RPM like.
That's perfect.
I need to look at the indicators where it says that. There's more grip there with the fishing.
Exactly.
I felt more rotation there. Now I'm just a little bit late on the brakes.
Yeah, earlier on the brakes, and also I'm more aggressive with the downshift, and check for yourself. And you see now that you could, well, it's still cold tires.
Yeah, so...
But you could have released earlier. The braking was good. You could have released the brakes earlier.
Yeah. Hello? Hello? Yeah? I can't hear you. Say something?
Ah, okay, now?
Yeah, I
sorry.
can hear you. Yeah.
I found out what it was. I found out. Sorry, my bad.
I thought you left me
shit.
like
No.
forget about this dude. I'm not helping him anymore.
Sorry, man. Shit, I don't know where it cut off. What I was saying is actually the mistakes that you were doing are basically braking too late. So you're let's say kind of confusing the carry more speed in the corner with braking later.
Okay.
So what I want you to do first is not brake later, but release the brakes earlier.
All
right? So you're gonna have your normal braking points. You're just gonna try to be like ballsy into the corner and say, okay, can I already go down with the brake? Maybe don't drop them fully.
Okay.
Keep like 10% maybe, and be very sensitive with the wheel, so to avoid oversteer.
Yeah.
And you will see how, oh shit, suddenly I have so much more corner speed.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
Okay. Let's do it.
Did you reload the setup, by the way, just to have new tires and stuff?
It should give me the new tires every time, yeah?
Yeah, every time we just go back into this into the setup, it gives you new tires.
Yeah.
And repairs the damage and whatnot.
This wrapping up is really hurting me on the final straight, probably.
Yeah, it's something to get used to also. For me it comes automatic, but I think for this one you're turning in too early. You're hitting the inside too early.
Okay.
Yes, that felt better already, right?
Yeah, it's proper. The third gear is a bit too high, probably.
Yeah, I saw in hot laps using it, I'm not faster. I always lose time, so better second.
Yeah. It's too slow. You know that the execution is a whole other thing, yeah? If I touch the brake a little bit, then I can actually make that corner. I think this is this corner is very, like, one of the hardest corners to get right.
Yes. I messed it up in my hot lap. Another thing you can work on is the throttle trace. You will see that you went to, like, I will explain you later in the replay.
So
I think that will be better.
Try one lap and then see.
Yeah, yeah. Throttle.
Could have done it a bit earlier. That's a bit too much of the, a little bit oversteer.
Too late on the brakes,
yeah.
a little bit.
I like the short shift a little bit. You know what I mean?
Exiting the corner.
Yeah. I'm just too late on the brakes, bro. Maybe we can do a clean lap today, I don't know.
Come on, this is the one.
Okay.
I will stay quiet and you focus.
Yeah.
Shite.
Bro.
So, you know, okay, I'm gonna give you a tip for that one. And actually, right, so let's do something. I'm gonna go into replay and I'm gonna share again.
Me.
Right. And
yeah.
All right. So what you can do, you know that you have tools like what I told you. When you're entering the corner, you can have a little bit of brake.
Yeah.
And then you rotate the car more, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you want to do the opposite? Like if you're feeling, oh shit, I'm oversteering into the corner.
Yeah.
I'm having oversteer. You can do the opposite. You can go on a little bit of throttle. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So for this corner, actually, it's very good to brake. And when you're entering here,
yeah,
you can have like this 10% of throttle.
Okay.
What you do that way is you prevent having too much oversteer. Like you can go faster, induce a little bit of oversteer, and then stop it by that.
Yeah, say with the Porsche a little bit. You need to touch the throttle to get that differential stuff working in your favor.
But then you have another benefit, and that is that you're... Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do this. Instead of here, you go from 0 to super high throttle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because you want to be quick, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when you do this, when you do very sudden movements or very sudden changes of brake or throttle while cornering, the car gets very unstable.
Yeah.
So if you're already on 10% because you were stabilizing the car, then it's another story. You were already loading the rear tires a little bit, just not fully, just a little bit. And then you just go to load them a little bit more. You don't go from loading the fronts to suddenly load the rears a lot.
Okay.
Because when you go full throttle, what you do is you give a lot of power to the rear, but you still don't have the weight, right? So if you go first a little bit of throttle, what you do is you slowly transfer the weight to the rear. Now you have the weight, now you have the grip, now you go high throttle.
All right.
Okay, so do this transition a little bit smoother.
All right.
Let me, maybe I can, okay, let's do something. I'm probably a bit cold now, but I think it's maybe beneficial. If I do, you can jump into my car. I will do a lap, not the fastest, but just like to show you stuff that, so you have an idea of what stuff I think you should do differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know how to jump into my car?
Yeah, I can click on you.
Okay. Yeah. So like you press drive and then go on.
I'm already on it, so I'm sitting inside your car. Only
Okay,
thing
perfect.
with the, I don't have your inputs, I believe.
Oh.
But I can hear and see.
Okay. Well, I'm recording also. So, or well, actually, you can see it in any lap, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to show you a little bit. So first things here, you can use the house here, the little house as braking, and here you try to go and throttle as much as you can.
Yeah.
Here you see I turn in a little bit later into the apex and then use the little house there as cue to when I have to go back on throttle. Here I brake earlier, but I also try to accelerate earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't feel bad about braking early there.
Yeah,
Here you
doing
can...
the bursts of the downshifts. Like...
Exactly. Because you brake more.
Yeah.
That's like free braking, and you don't unstabilize the car in the corner.
Yeah. You need
and then I turn.
Yeah, okay.
See? Oh, that was off track, okay. And then here, understeer, and put the wheel back.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the fastest, but it's a technique that you can use.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, just more stuff. Oh, that was shit. Oh. Just more stuff and...
Still human,
Yeah, I mean, I have also issues talking and driving.
Yeah.
But a little bit on the throttle, and then when you see you can go full. Oh, okay. Well, still cold tires and shit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the idea. You go a little bit on the throttle, try to get the feel for the car. That corner needs a lot of precision, right? So it's quite difficult.
Like sometimes I get like the like a 3/10, you know, from that corner alone. If you do it properly.
You can wash off a little bit here and then
let it fall to the inside.
Exactly. And here again, you can brake late into the corner, but release also early and carry a lot of speed.
Yeah. Let's see.
So that corner actually, it feels like if you brake straight and with a lot of downshift power and stuff, you can be very quick and it doesn't feel like you lose it. But very important to like straighten the wheel again when you exit, and this you can do. You actually don't have to brake here. This corner, I hate it. I still don't have the setup properly the way I like it, but yeah.
But you did it like you're talking and you're just doing a 43, bro.
Oh, yeah, but it was not a good lap.
Now, if I get like if I get like 43s like that consistently, then
I mean,
I'm happy.
Yeah, you were on more fuel, like 30 liters, and low wing, which is slower.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
yeah, it like I said, it.
Oh, that was bad. But yeah, you try to fish for grip here.
Yeah, it comforts me that you were also like, you're not even sure if you're gonna go for this high or low wing setting, so so that's a little bit of a payoff. Yeah. It's not gonna rain Wednesday, is it?
No, I don't. I really don't think so.
Because if it's so.
But yeah, I mean, there's like you saw. There's now you know stuff to work on.
Yeah.
it's I honestly I don't think you're gonna, maybe not even for Wednesday, be able to properly apply it, especially because you have limited time and such. And this is, but my main
the
is
seed is planted now, yeah. So
exactly. I want this. This should help for any track. Like if you saw, I didn't give you any really super specific track hints.
no,
Like I can always give you like here, this is a good break reference, or do this, do that, break later and stuff. For me, it's more general, right? Because I want you to be able to know how to be fast.
Yeah.
The issue is, disclaimer here, knowing how to be fast doesn't make you fast.
No.
Because I really know it, but I just lack the skill too. So like I'm there's proper esports that just are skilled and know it perfectly, and like know the stuff. Like Niels Naujux, for example. For me, Niels is the perfect example of a perfect mix of super high knowledge. Like he knows everything super precise, and he's also very skilled driving. Like he's really skilled.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets proper results, right?
Well,
but
awesome.
Yeah,
man.
All right, that was good.
I love it. Yeah.
Let's see how it feels after. I'm really curious about that. Let me really know after a few days if you notice some improvements, and if you have any afterwards any feedback or stuff, just let me know.
Yeah, I will. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Good.
Thank you too. And yeah, have a good one.
And see you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right, Ono. Bye.
Bye.